Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Cookies. My name is Lindsay, and welcome to a little peep of what it is like before the show. Wow. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, this is a show about positive life, leadership, parenting, yes, and craziness.
Lots of laughter.
Laughter.
Lots of laughter. Oh my goodness, laughter. Goodness. I like how you gave yourself a tan.
I know. Well, okay, so I was looking at the video of yesterday and I just looked so pale. So I was like, I need to fix this.
She gave herself a tan. She changed the ring light to give herself. Yeah, I'm so proud of you. Like, why didn't we think of this before?
I know, right? Right? Does it look okay? I can't even see myself yet.
It does. It does. I mean, you look,
I look like I'm not ghostly?
No, you
okay.
you want to, maybe I should do it tomorrow. Well, I don't need that because I tan like in 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah. I don't
You ready
even
for
wanna
this?
hear it.
So, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Coffee and Cookies. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. This is going to be an entertaining show. Entertaining. You want to know why? Because it just is. It just is. And you hear the laughter already, but watch this. You ready for this? And Lindsay's not even going to be able to see me do this.
Yeah.
Till
too late.
till it's too late. But there we go. I think we should use this setting for today. What do you think? What do you think? Right? Maybe we use this setting.
I don't know what it looks like.
You don't. That's the best part. Oh, here we go. I'm so sorry. That's just so rude to be here. Let me go to this setting. There we go. maybe that one there's a little bit better. Mm-hmm. But no.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
I'm gonna go back to the basic.
The first setting would probably match your ego.
No, it's not large enough.
Different.
It's just not large enough. Well, I
don't mind that second one.
Really?
Yeah.
It just looks a little boring. Like it's like everyone else's. They're just little squares.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. I'm so sorry because of maybe more like that. Maybe more like that.
I can't see it.
It's okay. You eventually you will. Eventually you will. People will probably watch the show like, oh my goodness, is this what it's like every show?
No.
Yes, it is.
No.
Yes, it is. It is absolute, complete craziness, and I love it. We're going to go back to that one because I still didn't re-download the lower third after deleting it. Why? Because I'm busy right now. Like Lindsay's like making me work like a lot more than she normally makes me work, but that's okay. That's good, right? That's good.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Morning, Taylor.
Yes, it is.
We haven't seen Taylor on in the chat in a while. Good to have you back, little lady. Good to have you back. You want to know what, Lindsay? I think I'm gonna adjust my light because now you're more tan than I am.
You're the pasty one now.
That's okay. That's okay. Good morning, sweet wave. Thank you for joining in this morning. We got things to talk about. Lindsay sent me this. Morning, Thomas. How you doing, brother? Secretary dolphin trainer.
Is that your nickname or something?
I have no idea where that's all coming from.
What is that?
You want to know what? I would do a better job being Secretary of State than our current Secretary of State.
We're not going down that road. That was
But
yesterday's
it's true.
show.
It's true.
Nope.
Yes, it is true.
It might be, but we're not talking about that today. You had your political show yesterday.
I did, and it was epic. It was awesome.
Oh, man.
I got to be growly. Yeah. Hey.
Hi.
We're going to talk about your husband today.
Yes.
We're going to talk about your husband
I love talking about my
and
husband.
your brother-in-law.
Yes.
And this book that they're reading and how, and we don't have cameras up before the show. We need to get cameras up before the show. That way you guys can hear the pre-show conversations because
About how my color looks. Yeah.
Troy would just be a flat out better president. We ain't got to go to VP. Like I would just vote Troy into president, like
Who's
you want to know
Johnny?
what? Here we go. You ready for this? Mm-hmm. Troy is so smart. I could totally see him like running a Fortune 500 company or going into politics one day. Mm-hmm. That kid is smart. So smart. Morning, Dad. How you doing? All right, so let's talk a little bit. Give a little history on your brother-in-law, and then let's talk about your hubs a little bit, and then let's go into
history on my brother. Like, what kind of history are you? This is really
okay.
ad-lib.
Oh, so sorry. He's a dad. He has 3 daughters.
Okay.
They're teenagers.
Yep.
And
Hey, just go ahead.
well, that's about all I know. Troy Aponte, Restoring America. You want to know what? I've already come up with an acronym. I don't know if he's old enough yet. Can we have, how old is Troy? Taylor, how old is Troy? Can we have an 8-year-old? You want to know what? An 8-year-old running the United States might not be a bad thing right now.
Probably be doing better than however old this president is.
Everyone gets gummy bears.
Instead of a stimulus package, you get a gummy bear package.
You know, it's funny. I was reading something the other day, and it was like, we're so far in debt, yet somehow we managed to give other countries just billions or millions and billions of dollars in support. And it's just like, how do you financially do that? Hey, you want to know what, Lindsay? I'm $1 million in debt, but I'm going to give you $5 million.
Okay, thanks.
Right.
I don't care how you do it.
Right? Doesn't make sense.
The other countries don't care what your bottom line looks like.
Right.
So.
That's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So I know why we're doing it. I know why we give them the stimulus packages. I'm going to explain this to the audience and to you, and then we're going to turn this off and move forward. So I'll be like, how are we giving money to Ukraine as a stimulus package? Well, let me tell you how this goes. Okay, again, don't look at it at the surface. All right, Ukraine is buying what from the United States?
Military weapons.
Weapons, food, water, supplies, infrastructure. All of that stuff requires money. Okay, does Ukraine have the finances to buy all that? Probably not. No. So what we do is we're giving them the stimulus package. It's going through Ukraine, but then it's coming right back to the United States. It's a big circle.
So it's like the stipulation they have to buy it from us.
Well, but they don't even, we don't need to put even, I don't know if there is the stipulation, but we're the only country supporting them in that way. Like other countries are sending support, but we're funding ourselves. The money's coming back into defense contractors and other American companies and then going into the economy.
So they're probably just borrowing this money because it's going to just kind of like what the banks do to.
There you go. It's a circle.
Money. Yeah.
It's not as linear as people in the media make it out to be. The money's coming back to the United States. So just, again, be aware, right? If you watched yesterday's episode, be aware. Don't look at the surface. Be aware. So let's talk about your brother-in-law.
So my brother-in-law, his name is Todd, Todd Michael, actually, which is why I think he picked this book, because it's written by Michael Todd.
That'd be so funny if that was like his writing name, like his surname, like his undercover. Did he write this book?
No.
Are you sure?
Yes. The author's black, and my brother-in-law is not.
Oh, that's greatness. Okay. And the name of the book is?
Crazy Faith.
It's only crazy till it happens.
Right. And so so my brother-in-law married to my sister since like 2003. So they've been married quite a while. They have 3 girls. All of them are 2 in high school, 1 in middle school. And they're part of why we moved down here.
Correct. He's also a very successful businessman. He recently got his master's degree, right?
Actually, no. He finished up his bachelor's.
Oh, he was that successful before he even had his bachelor's degree.
He never finished college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he never finished college. He used to be a DJ. He loves music, and and then he got into computer networking.
That's why he's so successful.
Yes.
He's so much demand.
He understands how all of these networks work and how things get connected and talking and all these things. So he actually builds the networking infrastructure for different companies. I still don't fully know what that means. So,
but he had to go back and get his bachelor's because,
well, just because of how the economy was, and he was competing with people that had bachelor's degrees and things like that. So he was kind of finding himself he wasn't as in demand. There were more and more people that are learning what he knows. So the competition was getting bigger. So he had to go back, finish up his degree. And so now he just got hired in at the place he's been trying to get hired into for the past 10 years, probably, or more. So he's excited, and he got my husband, we draw names for Christmas, and he got my husband's name for Christmas this past year, and he bought him a book because, you know, my husband shared at one point, he's like, I'm trying to read more. That's one of my husband's goals. So he bought him a book, and it was Crazy Faith. And he bought himself the book, and he's like, let's read it together and like do a Bible study on it, like a book study. That's
awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
So Michael Todd, the author, is actually a pastor of Transformation Church. I'm not sure where that's located, but he kind of goes into that in his introduction and stuff like that. And yeah, so I've kind of been stepping back and like just letting the guys do their book study, and I haven't really I asked hey, what were you talking about? And he kind of shares some things, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. And they're only in chapter 4, so they do a chapter a week. And but I went back to our computer area last night to pick up and do some computer work, and on top of my computer was this worksheet, and I'm like, what is this? So
worksheet?
Yes. So there's an accompanying, yeah, however that sounds, PDF that goes with the book. And it's kind of like a self-evaluation with the author's main illustration. So within the first 15 minutes of the book, because I've listened that far.
I'm so glad you did 15 minutes of research before we talk about it on the show today. Well done.
You know.
Have some kind of a foundation.
I found this last night at 10 o'clock. So.
It was like, we're going to talk about this on the show.
This is so good. I want to talk about this.
This is what it feels like to be on the receiving end of someone going, hey, you ready for this? Here we go. I love it.
Yeah. Do you like how that feels?
I love this. I already read through everything in here. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. But please keep going. Keep going.
Yeah. So in the first 15 minutes, the author talks about how things that haven't happened yet sound crazy. Like, he goes back to segregation, how, you know, if he was a black man and he walked up and said, hey, you know, our kids are going to go into business one day, everybody around him would have said, yeah, you're crazy. Or he's given this example of you go on the train, you're getting ready to go visit your family, and you get on the train, the only way to transport yourself across the country. And I tell you, hey, one day we're going to fly in a big metal tin across the ground in half the time and a third of the time. And, you know, people would have thought you were crazy.
Yep.
But now there's airplanes. There's interracial marriages. There's all these things that people thought were crazy at the time, but are now everyday things. Mm-hmm. And that's his foundation for his title, Crazy Faith. So what you think is crazy is only crazy until it happens. That's his tagline.
Yep.
And he's talking about the foundation of building a house. Him and his wife were building this house, and he was asking the builder, why is this part taking so long? And the builder says, we can repair walls, we can repair roofs, we can repair anything that is on top of the foundation. But once that foundation is set, there's no going back in and fixing it.
There's not.
So I thought that was really wow.
So just hold on real quick, because people like me understand that there's multiple types of foundations. We are talking about a concrete foundation, not a pier and beam, not stilts.
No.
A concrete foundation that is very popular here in Texas.
And he talked about one of the biggest buildings in the world and how it was 50 tons of concrete weight above ground. So that building has 12 stories of concrete foundation
Correct.
below it to support it.
Correct.
And if that cracks, if that is damaged, if that's not done to the highest level, then everything above it is in jeopardy.
Correct.
So I'm just like,
You will never,
my mind is blown right now.
You will never look at a concrete truck the same way ever again. That is the foundation. That concrete has to be perfect. Mm-hmm. The rebar has to be perfect. Everything has to be perfect, or else the building just comes tumbling down. So
Right.
that's great.
Right. So
So you sent me this image.
Yes.
Is this the first image it shows you?
I don't know what you're seeing on your phone.
Skyscraper, mansions, fixer-upper, trailer home, porta-potty, vacant land.
Yes.
That's the only image that I got.
Oh, it's not two-sided? It's not larger?
And then on the other side, it says friendships, career goals,
Yes.
romance.
Yes.
Romance.
Yes. That's the whole sheet. So he talks about, these different foundations, I guess. And I'm going to put these pictures on the feed, but it goes from vacant lot to skyscraper. And then there's a range in between there. So a vacant lot is no vision or direction. You're available and full of potential. And then the next one is a porta-potty. It's used only as a last resort, usually full of crap, requires a lot of maintenance, has just enough room for one. Trailer home, not set in stone, easily moved, not anchored down, susceptible to damage from outside circumstances, doesn't have much room for others. A fixer-upper, pretty solid belief structure, but compromised integrity due to doubt, disappointment, and damage over the years. Needs some work. You have a mansion. Large, strong framework, intentionally designed to last a long time. Aesthetically pleasing to attract others, set up to leave a legacy for future generations. And then you have a skyscraper. Huge visions, giant goals, and daring dreams. Lifestyle of faith on public display that is focused on serving countless others. So it goes from this range. And to me, the most interesting thing is the perspective from a vacant lot to the next step of a porta potty.
Wait, out of all of this, here we go, people. Out of all these options, the most important, the one that spoke to you the most was vacant lots of porta potty.
Why?
I want to know the why.
Why?
I definitely want to know the why. Go, girl, tell us the why.
The why is because it went from you have so much potential as a vacant lot to being a last resort.
You got to start somewhere.
You do, but you go from having all this potential to being a last resort. I just thought it was interesting.
Why?
Because in my head, I saw this video of a windstorm, and it picked up this porta potty and it blew it all over, and everything went everywhere. It's so disgusting. But I just
oh goodness. So welcome to Coffee and Cookies, where we talk about porta potties and windstorms.
The best day ever. Yeah. But would you rather have a vacant lot, or would you rather have a porta potty? I don't know that I'd want to put a porta potty on a vacant lot and say, yeah, that's where I'm starting. I don't even no.
Okay, so you really can't. Oh, and toilet paper. Taylor, that's funny. Don't look at this as so. Am I sorry? Through Nick's lens, not so.
Yeah,
I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Not so literally. Okay, when you become a new Christian, you go from a vacant lot to a porta potty. You have all this baggage still on you. You have all of this stuff that's still around you. Okay. And you're just now, you didn't even know that there was vacant land, right? Like you didn't even know that there was a direction. Like I can see this. I remember
You remember being a porta potty?
Yes, like oh my goodness, look at the lifestyle I had. Look at the lifestyle I currently have. I'm just now becoming a Christian. I got to get all this crap out of my life. Like I didn't even know I was. So it's funny because there's this. I get this ad for this game, and in this game, there's this guy and this girl walking down the street, and this girl has mud just covered on her, like she's a mud blob.
Okay.
And she doesn't even realize that she is a mud blob till the next scene. And that sometimes I think how people are like people that have no faith, people that don't even realize that they don't even have faith. Like they're carrying all of this
so much baggage
stuff on them. I almost said a holy wows of words, but
I'm glad you didn't.
of course, right? Because that's not positive. But they're carrying all this, but they don't even realize that they're carrying it, right? You don't even, and it's that unconscious incompetence. You don't even know what you don't know.
You don't know that you're a porta potty.
You don't know that you're living in a porta potty. Case in point, right? Like look at my house now compared to look at the house that we first had. Okay, Amber and I have gone through a massive evolution of we can afford a house like this. We can aspire to go down there. I remember when Amber and I would go house shopping. We would walk into $3 million homes and go, people live like this?
Right.
I didn't know people live like this.
I didn't even know you could walk into go shopping for houses like that.
Right? Like, wait, what do you mean? Like we walked into this one house and I think it was like 1.8. And they were like, oh yeah, there's something called a Texas garage. Well, what's that? And we walk up through this secret passageway and the entire attic is fully decked out. But you had to open the little bookshelf and you had to climb a little ladder.
I want a Texas garage.
It was called a Texas basement. I used the wrong terminology. It's called a Texas basement.
Like, that doesn't make sense, but okay.
Yeah, but it was built in the attic and it was completely done. If you didn't know it was there, but that happens in those high-end homes, right? But again, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know this is an option, right? So yes, I completely agree with this analogy. Like you don't know that your room is really dirty and really tiny and it's just you.
Okay. Thank you for that perspective shift.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I mean, I love the right side of this, but go ahead and keep going with the direction you were going to go. Thank you for letting me share a little bit.
No. Go ahead. Yeah. So those are those things. Okay. So never mind. Don't go ahead. I'll finish my thought.
I was like, I know she has more. I'm going to.
So you have this scale from vacant lot to
bougie she shed. Sorry.
To a skyscraper. And then on the other side, you have all these different areas of your life. You have friendship, career goals, romantic relationship, your health, finances, children, personal development, your hopes, dreams, visions for your future. And then
real quick. So when on the left side, she started from the bottom and worked her way up.
Oh.
On the right side, she just started at the top and worked her way down. Okay. And it's important that you know that for when we post this, because can you read it in reverse so they can see how it stacks?
Hopes, dreams, visions for your future.
That's the foundation.
Personal development, children, finances, health, romantic relationship, career goals, friendships.
Perfect. Thank you.
Why do you think it's important that I read them that way?
Because when I look at this, they stack.
How?
You need to understand your hopes, dreams, vision for your future. After you define that, then you can work on personal development. If you have kids, then you need to start implementing that into your kids. Okay. If not, then you can hop right to finances. Okay. After you have your finances leveled out, then we can start talking about your mental health. Why? Because if you have all of that taken care of, you've removed the majority of the stress. So now we can start talking about you now mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. A lot of people will get stuck in the finance side and never be able to go to the mental side because of that finance is always there. From there, now that I've solidified all of that, now I can start working on my romantic relationships.
See, I would reorganize all that.
You could take this and definitely reorganize this. I'm going in the direction that I'm reading this in. Okay.
Sure.
From there, now that I have my now that I have my household going in the same direction, now let's talk about career. Let's talk about what's going outside of the household. Okay. Now that I have all of that taken care of, now who is in my inner circle? Who are my friends? Okay. So I can see from the author's perspective why he stacked it this way. Now, what would you change?
I wouldn't put my kids before my romantic relationship. If I have a spouse, to me, it's God, spouse, kids.
There you
go. If you
go.
and your spouse aren't on the same page, pouring into the kids isn't going to matter because they're going to get it different ways from different parents.
Absolutely.
And then I would work on health because that's part of personal development. So I would do hopes and dreams for your future, work on myself, my health included in all of that, my spouse, work on me first, share it with my spouse, but don't, I need to focus on how I can be better, doing my best for God so that we can come closer together.
Sure.
When I'm doing my best, then I can be better for them. And then children and finances, career goals and friendships. That's how I do it. Anyway.
Great. Lindsay, when you write your book, stack it, girl.
Right?
Stack it. I love it. I love it.
So it just gives you all of these different categories, and then it lists underneath the range from vacant lot to skyscraper. And where are you? Where do you believe you are? My headphones keep going in and out.
Well, I don't know why you keep trying to break things.
Anyway, where do you believe you are in each category of that? Are you a vacant lot? Are you a skyscraper? Are you a fixer-upper? All these things. So I just thought it was really interesting. And how often do we self-evaluate on things like this? I know I don't do it very often. As far as, like, how am I doing? And have it defined in a way of, hey, do I have a lot of baggage in this area? Am I working through a lot of stuff? Or are my beliefs mobile because I'm a trailer home? You know what I mean? Like
so many comments right now.
I know. Welcome to my brain. Yeah. Thoughts, Nick? Because I know you have some.
I have lots of thoughts.
I know. Do you want to share any?
How many people, and this is probably a staple question for people who watch this show. How many people don't even have any version of this defined? Like we have all these categories, right? And maybe you don't like buildings. Maybe you don't use the building analogy. Maybe you use just whatever analogy is coming to your head. Maybe here we go. Let's say Nolan was watching, right? Maybe his analogies are all different types of sports cars.
Right. Because that resonates with him.
Exactly.
I read that and I'm like, what does that mean?
Right. What is an i4 versus a V4? What is an i6 versus a V6? Like, I don't get
phones?
it. Are those phones? Oh my goodness. Nolan, if you're watching and she asked that, I need you to just have the most sarcastic answer possible. No, I'm just kidding. Witty answer possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
Rosalie, that is very good. But there's different ways to take this idea and start streamlining it into maybe the whole idea of this real estate doesn't appeal to you, but cars or something. I don't know what you would use in the ladies' world. What would be brands?
Yeah, I don't resonate with that.
But the whole point I'm getting at is people don't even know to even ask the question, to even start the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And because they don't even know to start the conversation, that's why it's not just important that you and I have this show, but that's important. It's important why that our audience goes out there and starts asking these questions to other people.
Mm-hmm. So again, we like to bring this back into how do we build our family up? How do we pour this into our kids? How do we make an analogy about this that our kids would be able to understand? Because they don't have any idea about foundation. What does that mean?
So I think that is a great project for you. Seriously. Just take this last page, take the second page, and help me build on this, but in a kid's analogy. Mm-hmm. Because that would be an amazing workbook to do. And are you ready for this? This would be a great test for some people that are, you want to, Taylor, I was actually thinking about blocks. That's a really good one. But then actually have our inner circle take this and test it. Right? Hey, maybe let's, like Taylor just said, the blocks, or Legos, right? And then what we do is we sit down with our kids and go, hey, and we ask these questions and see they don't need to completely get it, but did we get them thinking?
Right.
They don't have to completely grasp it, but did we get them thinking, oh, that's interesting, right? Or yes, I get that. Daddy, I feel like my friendships are like 5 blocks, but you want to know what? I don't know anything about finances right now, so it's a 1 block.
So I used to do this activity in my business classes.
Hold on. Did you read Taylor's last one?
Seeing a family meeting with big Lego blocks with words on them.
Right? Like this could become a whole course.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. What were you going to say?
So I used to do this activity with my students in my business classes, and it was with toothpicks and marshmallows.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? Where you build a tower and you try to see how high you can get it without it falling over. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's something like that, like where you have...
That we get to eat the marshmallows?
Sure.
It's the most important part.
But maybe it's with different types of adhesive or different types of connection.
We're not going to tell kids to eat.
No. I'm not saying eat it. Nick.
Sorry, Angelina's dad was in here, so I had to drop that. Bye. Your dad's a hoot, Angelina.
Like, you have tape, like Scotch tape, and then you have glue, and then you have building like Lego blocks. What's more sturdy when it's connected?
I'm liking the marshmallow idea. I'm still going back to marshmallows. We're gonna measure this in marshmallows.
Different
marshmallows.
Sizes,
are you ready? Marshmallows, chocolate, and graham crackers.
Ooh.
I know, right? Sounds amazing. Campfire 101. Lindsay, I think you have a project.
Greatness. I love projects.
She's like, it's not supposed to go this direction. It's just supposed to be a conversation. Why are you trying to make this a course? We're going to make it a course. Yep, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Well, I'm thinking this might benefit something else we're
Yes,
working
I already
on.
know. Yep, girl, I'm like, yep.
I need her to build this so I can use it.
No. Okay, so hold on. That's like the second time that you've said I want someone else to build this so you can use it. That's the second time you said it. You said it during yesterday's show as well.
What?
You did. So let's go ahead and just clarify this real quick, okay? Projects. You did. You said you wanted
I'm so
that. I want.
sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. But because we're live, I have to make sure I clarify this. Okay. There are things that we talk about here, and if Lindsay were to build this, and this would be to become a program, and I were to use it, okay, and I were to use it, one, please understand that this would be all the honor would be given back to Lindsay. All honor is given back to the author, right?
Yes.
Just I love teaching, I love coaching, but
you connect so well with kids.
And I do connect. I do. I connect very well with kids.
They like gravitate towards you.
But they do.
I know.
It's so interesting. It's a blessing. It is a blessing. Angelina, don't give me that look, okay? But we need to make sure that we have an understanding here of I'm not taking this idea from Lindsay and going and rebranding it Nick's idea. Yes. Okay? No. If I'm going to take it, this is Lindsay's idea. This is Lindsay's tool. Nick is helping implement this tool to help kids and to help families. Okay,
I understand. I know that.
You know that. You know that. The audience doesn't know that, and
Very,
that's why I wanted to make sure that we set the expectation correctly. Because Lindsay knows I'm not going to just steal her idea and try to cut her out of the picture. Okay, but you guys don't know that as the audience.
Can't. I control everything.
Between you, Amber, and Angelina, my life is pretty much on lockdown.
Yep.
Even Angelina's like, yeah. Like, if you message me, and here we go, right? It's so funny because people will try to message me on Facebook, and what they don't realize is that Angelina reads every message that comes through my Facebook. Lindsay gets every message that comes through my Facebook, and my wife gets every message that comes through my Facebook. Like, I've had to tell people, be careful what you say, because if you try to flirt with me, girl,
all three of us are going to be coming down that. Yeah.
It's not going to be good for you. It's not going to be good for you at all. So just don't.
Especially Amber.
Amber doesn't even need to. Angelina's going to be the one that's going to lash out at them.
She will.
She will. Like,
she's dangerous. Yeah, don't get on Angelina's bad side.
No, it's a scary place to be.
Yep.
Scary place.
I haven't even seen it, and it scares me.
Isn't it like that, though? Like, the nicest people, the sweetest people, you're like, I'm not making that person mad.
Yeah, no.
Because that sweetness.
I don't even want to see what that looks like.
I don't. I really don't. No.
Yeah, Amber's another one that I'm like, I don't want to see her angry. No. So yesterday, Amber got to go and have some girl time with the neighborhood, with some of the neighborhood moms, and I'm there with all three of them, with my three daughters. Mm-hmm. And I love London, but the girl needs to learn how to focus. She doesn't want to focus. She just wants to help, right? She doesn't want to do what I tell her to do. She wants to help the other two. And I'm like, sweetheart, you have to take care of you first. You have to get your bath done first. You have to get your jammies on first, then help. Take care of yourself, then help. So I'm having to coach her. Oh, Rosalie. Don't want Rosalie angry. Get you from her mama. Mm-hmm. And it's like it. So Rue, my middle one, she's doing great, but then my youngest one, she's just yelling at me. She's just yelling at the top of her lungs, just yelling at me. Because you're not mom.
I am not mom. She's like, mama, mama, just back and forth. So Amber gets home and she's like, Nick, why are you in drill sergeant mode? And I'm like, I've been yelled at. I've been yelled for a solid hour now. And it's just they're just so cute. So I'm not yelling at them. Mm-hmm. You want to know what? London actually wound up doing 30 push-ups in that 1 hour because I'm not going to spank my kids, and it works. I'm telling you right now, parents, if you're not doing push-ups with your kids and you're spanking your kids immediately, you're missing it. Like, learn from Nick's mistakes. Implementing these 5 steps.
You used to spank your kids first,
I used to. That used to be like a warning spanking. Warning, not even sometimes warning. So right to spankings, right? But man, this push-ups has changed it. And I don't have to yell at them anymore. It's just, hey, you're not staying focused, or you're being rude, or there's a little bit of attitude here, drop. And London knows to knock out 10. Isla knows to knock out 5. Isla did do 5 push-ups. She was like, do I have to do it in the middle of the bathroom floor? Absolutely. Knock it out. I'm going to watch you. It's been life-changing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely life-changing. Nick went off on a tangent again, and that's okay because it's 40 minutes now.
It's time, yes.
It's time. Lindsay, thank you for showing this. Thank you for bringing this up. Dustin, thank you for reading this book. And
Todd, thank you for buying it for Dustin.
There you go, right? Because I want to read this book now. I absolutely want to read this book. Yes. I really do. So among the other books that I'm reading right now, yes, I want to somehow figure out, you know what, it's not going to happen this month. It might happen like 2 months from now, but it's going to get on my list.
Don't you wish you could do like the Matrix mode and just put in a disc and just and download everything? Sometimes. I wish
Sometimes.
Yeah.
I actually enjoy reading.
Oh, well, think about how many more you could read or get the knowledge from if you just took 20 seconds to.
Well, and there you go. There you go.
Information.
Because at the end of the day, it's time, right? You don't get that time back. So if I look at it from that perspective, you're right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being in the comments. Taylor, it's great to see you back in the comments again. Thank you for joining us today. Where are you on your big three? It's Thursday. You should be a little bit done through your number 2. You're hopefully working on number 3. And the reason for that is tomorrow I'm going to tell you to leave the work early. I'm going to tell you to do it.
Because it is Thursday.
Yes, today is Thursday.
Yeah. You can actually call today Thursday, Nick. He's been trying to do it for the past 3 days. Yeah.
So just make sure, Jim, there are apps for that. So just make sure that you get it done. You get it done. And the reason why is this Friday, figure out if you're going to take a little bit of time to spend some time working on yourself, maybe reading a book, or maybe spend some extra time with your family.
Or working on a project.
Or working on a you project. Mm-hmm. Happy to be back. Taylor, see, that right there, that comment right there summarizes this show. You can watch the replays, but it's different when you're actually in the comments.
Yep.
It's very different. Taylor, thank you for that. If with your permission, I'm actually going to use that. I'm going to use that in an ad because that's gold right there. That's gold right there. So thank you for doing that. So thank you guys for being in the comments. Thank you guys for liking the video. If you're hearing this on the podcast, you're like, where's all this happening? This is happening on Facebook. Okay. Facebook and YouTube. So make sure if you want to join us and you want to be in the comments, come to one of those 2 platforms. We love you guys. We're going to pray for you guys. And I want your prayers for Nick because
and
Nick
Lindsay.
is a little behind. Is
yeah.
Lindsay behind this week already too? I'm actually a little behind. So today's going to be thank you, Taylor. I appreciate that. This is going to be probably a Nick put on these headphones again, but plug them into my computer and just tune out and just crush it.
Why are Angelina and I distracting or something?
I love you guys.
Yep. We are.
Hey, make sure that you
Rise up.
crush it. Bye y'all.